Hello and welcome to Off the Shelf Reviews. It's Gaming Friday. I'm Iain.
And I'm Linda.
Oh, hello, dear. Welcome. Welcome to Gaming Friday's review of Shadow of the Tomb Raider, released on the 14th of September 2018 on PS4, Xbox One, PC and Mac. Developed by Square Enix and Eidos Montreal. Now, this is the third game in the new series of Tomb Raider games, isn't it? I mean, obviously, they had all the Tomb Raider games that were released during the 90s. Yep. Mass Feud series, which the wife, obviously, this is why I got...
Played everyone.
She's done every single one. We've done all the remakes and all the remasters, and then, obviously, gone on to this new trilogy. And this is the final chapter in the origin story of Lara Croft.
That's correct.
So, you know, she's crashed on the island on her big steamboat. That was in the first game. Yep. She dealt with all the issues that were in the second one. Her becoming this new Tomb Raidering vigilante against the injustice of corporations and
discovering Trinity.
Discovering Trinity. Now, Trinity was the new big enemies for Lara Croft to come across.
Yeah.
You know, that's the big rich company that are trying to find all the relics around the world to develop them into weapons and chemicals and...
More or less, yeah.
And so now in this one, she's ended up in South America and she's come across a new kind of rare trinket that Trinity are after. But can you tell me more of the story?
Yeah, so basically, I'd like to say that she's in search of what Trinity's up to, etc., and trying to stop them. And in the process, ends up in South America, and she finds this dagger.
Yeah.
And as she does when she's kind of going around raiding tomb places and stuff like that, and she unwittingly, in taking the dagger, so I'm just trying to work out where I am. I'm just going to check the map because I've no idea where I left myself. I'm trying to get over here. Yeah, so when she finds this dagger and she takes it from her the spot, she basically unleashes the apocalypse on the world.
When you say unleashes the apocalypse, I mean, are we talking like a chemical? Are we talking about a giant
I cannot remember.
bear? You've completely lost. I bring you on here to show your skills off to all the shelfers.
Going back up to the fireplace.
Are you supposed to be climbing down this way?
Well, that's the thing. I obviously got up here from somewhere.
Good old Lara Croft finds herself in all these little spots. Now,
this is sometimes the annoying thing about trying to get to places. I've completed the storyline.
Yes, and you're now doing all the challenge tombs.
I'm now trying to clear 100% all the different hubs. So you can, because I've cleared it, I've now got fast travel. So
you can just quickly fast travel.
Yeah, here you go. Here's the map.
It's a pretty big map, actually.
It is quite a big map. So these are all the different hub areas. So you can see kind of the different areas in terms of what you've completed, etc.
Yeah, but all the different places you've gone up against Trinity.
Zoom in.
So you've got camps and tombs completed, missions completed, challenges completed, treasure chests, crypts, relics. So
this is the hidden city over here. This is like the big Petiti
market.
This is the big area. So so like I was saying, with in terms of the where should I go? Let's go to the
plane wreckage
place just to show you.
Yeah.
The annoying thing about fast travel is it's not very fast.
It's all right. So we have to sit through a whole loading sequence to get to it.
Yeah, so it's good for jumping to the different hubs, but within a hub, there's not much point in using it unless you're really stuck with where you're going and stuff like that.
So you might as well, when you're in one location, you might as well climb around and jump and use all the ledges to climb up
and get there rather than using the
fast travel. So being the third game in this series, I mean, like we said, I bought you this game just before Christmas.
Yeah.
And we were really excited. You know, Tomb Raider game had just been announced after the film had come out in the cinema as well, and you sat down and you started playing it, and one of your complaints to me was you didn't like all the action sequences that you had to deal with.
Well, it's not so much that. It's what I do like about the game is I like the stealth side and shooting things from a distance.
Yeah.
So using the bow and arrow, things like that, I really enjoy. I'm just not a up close combat girl.
And there was a lot of situations with this game where you're climbing through like a location, and then all of a sudden there's a cut sequence. Lara falls or is thrown into an area, and then you can't
get out the area, so you've got to complete whatever it is that you're doing in order to move on.
You have to stand there and you have to fight the different waves of enemies that are coming at you. But being the third one with that, you stopped playing it for a while, coinciding with work and other stuff. But you went off and you completed a whole other game. Before coming back to this. And then once you did pick this up, because one of your things to me was, I don't want to do the fight sequences again. When you hit
I'd gone through the story mode, and basically at the end of the game, spoilers if you've not played it.
Yeah, well, don't spoil the boss for them,
but you know that at the end of a Tomb Raider game that there's going to be a big boss and things like that. So basically, I was in the middle of that big boss game, and I just got fed up with like trying to kill him.
Because he killed you like 6 or 7 times in a row.
Sorry, Beetles. I can.
Beetles more collectibles and stuff.
Yeah, lots of collectibles.
Lots of collectibles.
So I just got kind of fed up with it, and I thought, I need a break away from it.
And you went off and did a whole nother game, and then came back and kicked his ass within like.
I did, yeah.
2
See,
turns.
that's why I needed a break from it, because once I come back and I figured out actually what I needed to do, then I was able to take him out.
But saying that though, I mean, you've like I said, you've played the other 2 games. A lot of the complaints from the reviews, critics called the game bland, dull, tired, and a retrend. But they praised the stealth combat, the graphics, and the puzzles.
Yeah.
So, as a Tomb Raider fan, would you say that this one was good enough to play all the way through and complete like you've done with the other 2 games?
Yeah.
Or once you've done the story, are you only doing the 100% completion for yourself?
I mean, I do like to do, like I said, done the story mode, and then obviously to complete the game, I do like going around to the different hubs and doing all the challenges, and it's the tombs.
Yeah.
And that's kind of obviously what I enjoy actually about Tomb Raider is the fact that you do have the different tombs and stuff like that you've got to work out.
Yeah, because
the challenges on that and how to get through.
I mean, I've only done the first game, and I really like the first game, but I really like the multiplayer more than anything else. And then the multiplayer. No, new crypt. The multiplayer didn't return for the second game or this one. But I did notice that they had moved all the tombs and challenges off to the side. Like you don't do that many during the game.
No.
You have your basic story mission.
You can
puzzles.
You can. There are moments in the storyline that you end up in places where you could go off and explore.
Yeah.
That's what I don't like. I don't like the darkness.
Yeah.
She's got
You got a tiny little torch
out and everything. Like,
you can't get a flaming torch or anything?
You can't. No, you don't have a torch. You've got a head torch, and that's kind of it. And you can't always see what you're doing. That annoys me.
We're just sneaking through as much as we can.
Yeah. So I'm in a crypt at the moment, basically. So the whole point of crypts is to find his I can't say this word. Sarcophagus. That one, and some relic inside.
Yeah.
And once you've kind of done that.
Oh, dead body, nice.
Lots of dead bodies in this game, lying around everywhere. It's quite gross, really. But.
So, like we were saying though, so you could. With people saying that the game was bland, do you think those are coming from people who just literally played through the story and didn't go off and do the challenges? Maybe not done, gone off and stuff. But also, if you've played all the previous ones, if you've played them a lot, I suppose for some people it can get predictable. Yeah.
And I was saying before how in this game I've not...
Tripwire.
Yeah. using my sensor, obviously I could see that, but you've got like the ability to kind of pick up things and then
cut that.
watch
Nice.
see what would happen to me if I just walked through there.
Yeah, you've been caught by a few of them a couple of times
in the past. But like I say, it's the problem is if you've played a lot of the Tomb Raider games, you do kind of get to know what's kind of coming or how you solved it. So for some people that might be the element of it's kind of much the same as the other ones.
Yeah. Quick time event here, the action sequence there.
See, there's a dodgy
floor there. Yeah,
and
see that was the thing that was making me think was like when the original Tomb Raider came out. Well, the Tomb Raider that where you ended up on the island. Everybody was excited at that point for a brand new Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
You know, these new quick time events, all the damage that Lara took.
There's my sarcophagus. There you go. There's the sarcophagus.
The sarcophagus. You know, everything looked really, really nice. Then there was more excitement for the second one because they were still off the back of the first game. Do you think it burnt itself out quite quickly by this point? You know, the only real people who are going to be playing this are Tomb Raider fans like yourself.
Yeah, the big fans. I don't know. I think it's, in terms of sales and stuff like that, I think it's been pretty good. But like I say, there are a lot of Tomb Raider fans out there that will play it.
We'll just eat it all up.
Yeah.
And I like as well that this Lara Croft does remind me of the actress in the film.
Definitely. I mean, I think in terms of the old games and stuff like that, so obviously I remember 1996 was the
first Tomb Raider.
First Tomb Raider game, and basically we know what Lara looked like then, didn't we?
Yes, triangle titties
with their triangle BBs, and basically, when the new versions of the games come out, a lot of people complained about the fact she looked too normal.
That's quite a big drop. Can you look at that? Yeah. Oh, yes, that'd be death right there.
Graphics in this are lovely.
Yes, that was one of the things I was just about to bring up. Was, I mean, they've really taken a lot of effort to put in all the details to make you feel like you are adventuring. Yeah. You know, you can tell by her backpack.
And her movement and things like that. I remember I used to get very frustrated. You remember the time? How often did I call Lara a silly cow?
Oh, what, in the other games?
In the other games.
Yes, quite a lot. The fact that she would roll in really badly positions. You missed the jump, didn't you?
Yeah.
You're going to have to go all the way right around again.
Go all the way back up again. See, that's talking, not concentrating. But yeah, it was. Used to get annoyed with some of her movements, and when you're trying to do different things or scaling cliffs and things like that, it used to get kind of a bit annoying.
I love how they put all the paint markings on there as well. Like, if you want to climb up, you are looking for the white.
You are looking for the white, basically.
Somebody's painted it white.
Yeah, so there is that, but.
That was the good argument that you and I used to have, because you used to complain at me about why you couldn't jump up to a certain section, and I used to say, because there's no white paint there. Yeah, but I need to get up there. Well, you must find another way around. So you then have to take it on like a 5-10 minute detour around to get to the same. Look, don't forget to jump.
Yeah. Stop, don't go running forward.
So, can you tell me about any of the upgrades? For this game.
What I do like about this one, I can't work out where I'm actually going on it, because I went down there before.
Can you climb off? Climb off the ledge.
No, done it again.
I was wondering if you could hold on to the ledge and then look back and then
probably.
jump off that way.
Sorry, what we were talking about, upgrades. Yeah.
Upgrades.
So basically, what I do like about this one is there are some new kind of skills and stuff, like with their grappling rock surfaces. You do get some of the rocks are not in this one here, but some of the rock surfaces where, like I presume climbers, they've got all the gear and stuff for grappling and stuff.
Yeah.
And you can dangle off kind of rock faces, etc. So it's pretty cool in terms of that. I like the new camouflage, where you can, in the gameplay, in the storyline. I've not come across it actually since finishing the storyline when I've just been exploring, but in the storyline there's places where you can cover yourself in mud, like mud puddles,
so you can sneak past enemies.
So you camouflage yourself, and then you can hide up against walls, and you'll basically become invisible to the enemies.
Right, so where would I go?
There's, because it's a big gap, but
I think that's
go too far.
Are you supposed to go this way? This is the way that
You have
climbed
got to
up.
go that way.
But as soon as you drop off this
As
ledge,
soon as I
you are
drop
literally
off,
going to fall off.
Yeah, there is, and you can't stand up.
So you can't crouch and you can't look down. Go
And there's
use your
no
sense.
wall. Yeah, sense just shows you that there's nothing. There's just that trap. There.
Okay, so maybe head back to the rope. See if we need to
You've
go
got you've
farther
got
up.
you've got to go down this way. There is no. Thank you for your torch. Thank you.
Thank you, Laura, for
Yeah.
just activating that.
I think
that's probably a
literally
D-pad.
I've got to try and just jump across. I think.
Try it, I suppose. But I don't. Oh, there we
my
go.
Goodness.
Tense moments in the Tomb Raider in games. You're always there, looking at a ledge, thinking, "Can I make this? Do I want to run
Right,
across
so I'm
that?"
back to near the beginning place now. I don't know what's over here, but yeah.
You run across the floor,
So the stealth bit's pretty cool.
covering yourself in mud and taking on
And then
more
hiding,
Trinity's armed guards.
and you can literally just hide, and they walk past you, and then you can just kind of get your knife out and kill them. So that's quite nice.
Yeah, some people said it was like a cross with Rambo. You know, when you're
Yes.
stuck up against
Yeah.
the wall with your knife already.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, see, now another painted bit. Sometimes you've got to be careful because you've got to look up, and I've been caught out before where you've got to like use your bow and arrow to attach a rope and pull things down.
Climb up.
Yeah.
Jump up. Oh, no.
God.
Monkey
Stop
girl.
jumping!
Monkey girl. Oh, nice.
And that's what happens when you throw yourself onto spears.
Yes. So I suppose one of the most difficult parts of
I
it,
know, I'm no idea where it is.
you were at the bottom, so you'd have to climb all the way up that rope.
Ah, you're joking
no,
me.
you're down that part. Yeah, that's how I know this part.
Yeah.
So
that's frustrating.
the frustrating part is, I suppose, trying to redo all the tombs. But then again, as a Tomb Raider fan myself, I always did like that aspect. I mean, when you're playing a Tomb Raider game, that's what you're wanting.
Lost me rope now. Then.
It's taking you all the way back to the start of the checkpoint.
How?
But as a Tomb Raider fan, when you look at the Tomb Raider game, you're getting exactly what you're expecting each time, aren't you?
Yeah.
Lara Croft.
Mixture of exploring, of tombs, of challenges, puzzles to work out.
Yeah.
Of killing things, upgrading skills.
And it just depends on how much of that you're needing more in your gaming. Like we said, when I bought you the game, you started it, but then you dropped out of it and needed to play something else.
Yeah.
Before coming back and now going, hey, I can do all the challenges now. I can feel ready to do it. But then you get put into the sections, and sometimes they're too dark, or you can't see what you're doing.
My map a minute.
And the paint seems to be in the wrong place. But persevere.
There's a document somewhere I've missed.
Oh, just there?
There it is.
There it is.
That's the thing. This is the game's quite big, and as you're going through the hubs and stuff like that, is what certain times you kind of find different documents and caches and stuff like that, but they're not always obvious. And you do find things that open up secrets. So you can see on here, the greyed out ones are ones I've collected.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Whereas ones over here these
you still need to
find. And I'm presuming that where I was trying to get to just a minute ago is over there, but it's not always the case, and the map can be there's a tomb there I haven't done as well,
so it's kind of misleading. It tells you it's above you where actually it might be below you.
Yeah,
you've got to swim
and it's
through all
quite
these
difficult
sections.
and you look on a map and you think, I've got to go to that place, to get there, and then actually discover when you go there that no, you can't get to it that way.
Yeah.
And that's a bit frustrating. But
so, all in all, I mean, would you say this is a good ending for the trilogy, or do you think it was a bit rushed and that they should have waited for a little bit longer?
I mean, I can't remember actually the time distance between the last one that came
I think
out.
it was at least a couple of years after Tomb Raider 2 for the release of this one. But I do remember this one came out just after the film, and so the story for the film and the game I felt were kind of the same, and I was very surprised about that. The fact that in the film she crashes on the island with the boat, but then she meets up with her dad, and her dad is in this one, but he's already dead.
No, he's dead, and she finds out how he died in this one, which is different to the film.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where it's all a bit they don't match up.
But then you kind of end this one with her becoming Lara Croft.
Yeah,
she gets her
because
two pistols.
It's the realization at the end of this one that, you know, she'd been a bit kind of had a gung-ho attitude about, a bit like her father, that obsession with relics.
Yeah.
And trying to kind of find all the best relics, etc., and get there. And then actually she goes through this kind of emotional journey in this one, especially when she sets off the apocalypse, that actually it should be about her protecting these relics and protecting these places, because she finds basically this place called the Hidden City in this one, where it's kind of a Mayan tribe that have not seen the outside world, and things like that. They've come across outsiders before, but they've not been out with themselves and things like that. And it's the realization that actually she should be protecting these.
Because obviously, once she removes the relic, all the tourists come in,
you know,
and these people will lose their homes and stuff like that. I mean, I did remember seeing you walking around that. I think it was the Hidden City, and you were doing some checking, talking to the NPCs, and obviously they were giving you all their different challenges, like can you go over and save this person, save that person.
And she does a lot of that, but. It's kind of like weird. I was talking to Gary about it before in terms of the voice of the person that's
the actress,
that's doing
Camilla Luddington.
Lara, and Gary was saying how she struggled with this particular game in terms of the emotional side. Yeah, and you can see that. So it's telling me now that
there's a challenge team nearby,
which if I look on my maps, you can see I've come out there. So I didn't end up going to those places. So those are linked to the tomb, basically.
Yeah, yeah.
So when you get that out, you have to look. But yeah, you can tell that there are certain interactions where the cutscenes when she's talking to different people, and her voice is not emotive. So it's kind of like she's talking about being empathetic and sympathetic to their cause and stuff, but she doesn't sound like it.
So it doesn't seem to match up with her computer generated character.
It's a bit weird.
Well, I mean, I don't know if we're kind of used to that with Lara Croft. Do you remember how she was in the original games, about how emotional she was in those?
Well, yeah. I mean, she's a bit of a badass.
Pretty much dead inside. Have you broke that wall?
No, I've got to do it again.
There we go. I suppose, I mean, like you said, watching it in little stints, you know, if you tried to play through it too much too quickly, you'd probably get bored and burnt out. Yeah. And be like, oh God, I can't be bothered to go search another empty
But
table.
It is kind of obsessive as well, because I do, as you know, I've got back into it this week.
Yes.
I'm on half term, so that's why I've been able to kind of get back to it. And I did want to go around doing the hub areas and stuff like that. So, and you do kind of get, there we go, there's the grappling.
There we go.
You can
throw the grapple axe. Nice.
And then...
the water. Thank God it's water. I'm a bit worried.
And you do kind of get a bit like immersed in the game and want to do, like, you think, I'll just do this one, and then you come across something else. I'll just do that, and then before you know it, you know, your day's disappeared. Yeah,
you're back at camp, and you're like, if I upgrade this and I upgrade that. And the cool thing is as well that I suppose you could play through this completely now, upgrade everything to your character, and then start New
again.
Game Plus.
Yeah.
With Lara toting absolutely everything right from the start of the game.
Yeah, where she's got all her upgrades and everything. Yeah.
Make it a little bit maybe harder for yourself. You can individually change the settings for the combat, the exploration, and the puzzles, so that you can make one easier and one harder. So if you're not like Linda, if you're not much into the action sequences, but you love the puzzles and trying to work it all out, then you could put the puzzles on hard and make the combat really, really easy with all of your upgrades. I'd get through there before that closes.
No, that doesn't matter. I can just, if it does close.
Oh, right.
You want to get these monolith type place murals and stuff.
Why? What
gives you XP, and then you can read things.
Right. But then at the same time, if you're like what I was saying, if you're not a big fan of the puzzles and that's what stumps you, but you love the shooting aspects, then you could put the combat on hard and make the puzzles really easy. Go back through again and mix and match. So I mean, maybe the critics were a bit harsh on it. You know, I don't know what they were expecting from another Tomb Raider game.
Because you do expect certain things about it. And
graphically, it looks very nice. You're still making some of the silly mistakes that everybody always does, where you don't jump at the right moment and you fall onto a spike and you're like, oh, that looks
But that isn't
painful.
that kind of... You want challenge. You want a certain amount of challenge and stuff, because you don't want it to be like too easy, because then it will become boring.
Yeah, no.
And even with my getting frustrated sometimes when I've got to end up killing something or people and stuff like that, and it's close combat and I don't like that, it's once you do it, you've got that sense of achievement then.
Yeah, and that's what I've always said to you. Sometimes it's like I can do it for you, but you know, well, it's kind of what we do really. You and I do all the action sequences and you do all the puzzles. But you know, it will be nice to see you. You haven't had to do very much from this. No, one. there was only 2 or 3 shooting sections I had to take over, and even then, when I did them, even though I knew what the buttons were, because they are pretty simple, reload, shoot, and all that kind of stuff. Her aim was just completely off, and I'd miss, and you know, she slowed the reload, and then you get hit a couple of times, and you've got to keep on the move in the fighting sequences because you'll slowly regenerate health, but then you have to use herb stuff to heal the major wounds so that you can carry on fighting. I think you did learn most of it from the first and second games though, so you were ready for that.
Yeah. I've been much more prepared on this game, known what to expect and things like that. So.
I mean, maybe they did miss out on a really good online as well, where maybe you could have made like people fighting over challenge tombs, you know, trying to get to that treasure in the quickest time and do routes. Maybe that'll be something to do down the in the future, because like I said, I missed the multiplayer from the first game. I didn't really bother much about the puzzles, but looking at this room, you know, if you...
So this is typical, your tomb, like you come into a tomb, you can use your sense thing that gives you tips about kind of what to do and stuff like that. Obviously the things that are of importance are highlighted. You get the ones where it's kind of like, this is what you need to do next is in blue.
Yeah.
Traps are in red.
But but this is it. Like, without even the sense. I mean, you could have walked in this room and gone, puzzle room.
Yeah.
Now you just got to try and
kind of like it's going to be something you've got to kind of fix and things like that.
And how many of us played the original games and would have loved to have had that sense pop up and go, you need to go over here.
Yeah.
That would have been brilliant.
Because that used to be before, like the original games, and some of the puzzles and that were really hard, and I think that's why they built in the sensing thing, is people were getting frustrated with not being able to figure them out.
And then not coming back for it. But so all in all, do you recommend Shadow of the Tomb Raider?
No, definitely. If you like games which are a mix of puzzles, action, your combat, and things like that, it's brilliant. I think it caters for a lot of different people's styles, game styles. So it's definitely worth having a go. I can't believe you've not really...
honey, I'm still playing Red Dead.
I know, apart from kind of helping me out occasionally. And stuff
but
like that,
Tomb Raider's your thing.
I know.
You know, I do as well. If you're a fan of Tomb Raider games, then yes, you probably already got this one and blasted all the way through it. If not, then it's a good little Sunday afternoon jaunt, I suppose. If you can get it cheap enough, you can just play through it, knock out the story quickly, and then challenge yourself to do some of the challenges. But you know, it's nothing major. It's Tomb Raider. So with that, I'd like to say thank you everybody for listening. Thank you to my awesome wife for coming on and running us through the South American jungle.
Now. That's what they
you want Lara to wave goodbye to everybody. So join us again next Thursday for another film review. We'll have another Gaming Friday going up next Friday. Podcast should be going up soon, depending on when this video goes out. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Patreon. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Bye.